My boy, my boy, my beautiful boy. Yes, the inevitable has happened. Nerfs have been applied to Cosmic Ghost Rider. So in this video, we're going to break them all down and talk about what it means for CGR moving forward. Hey guys, Rich from Rich Big Gaming. Hope everyone is doing fantastic. Well, welcome to this, another Marvel Crisis Protocol video, and one that I kind of knew was going to be coming eventually. Cosmic Ghost Rider has been the big bad of MCP for quite some time now, especially with the changes that happened to Thanos, in particular, removing his ability, I think his Cosmic Portal, to only once per turn. And it always seemed really strange to me that Cosmic Ghost Rider had a similar ability, some would argue even slightly better than Thanos's, that could be used as many times as he wants, just only limited to once per character per turn. But there's some other changes that have happened to his card as well. So let's jump over and let's take a look at what each of those changes are and what we think the impact for Cosmic Ghost Rider in the game will be moving forward. Okay guys, so here we go. All of these are available in the errated section, FAQ section I think it is, on the AMG website. So just make sure that when you're playing him moving forward that you've got these rules to hand. Or most of the sites like Cerebro and MCP database and things like that will update the card stats, so you could even print out the new card and put it on there, because there are some quite significant changes to Cosmic Ghost Rider here. So the first one then, Cosmic Ghost Rider CP90, that's just his character pack, Ghost Rider stat card. Increase the power cost of the Power Cosmic Penance Stare attack to 8. Now, just so we can put that into some context, let's have a quick look at what that attack actually looks like. So we can see here, Cosmic Penance Stare, it's a range 2, it's 12 strength, and it did cost 6 power, so it has gone up by 2. The target character does not gain power for damage dealt by this attack. And then on a crit, wild, hit, block, and fail, he gets dust to dust. Change each of the character's target blocks result to a skull, to a fail. This is an interesting one to me, because when we get into some of the other parts, I'm not sure if this part was really needed. I don't feel like his Power Cosmic Penance Stare was the real problem with Cosmic Ghost Rider. I think it was other things. Yes, it was a big bad attack, but I don't think it was the most egregious thing that he did. But even so, it has been increased to an 8 cost. So it's now an 8 cost for a 12 strength attack, which, you know, the fact that there's nothing auto on here, I think feels pretty bad. I'm not sure if, maybe in isolation, if this was the only change they'd made, it maybe wouldn't have been enough. But for me personally, with everything else that we're going to go through as well, I don't feel like this one was needed. And I know that the reactions to a lot of people are going to be, oh, well, he gets what he deserved. He's been so egregious for so long, yada, yada, yada. Whenever characters are being balanced, right? Because that's what this is. This errata, this nerf is a balancing act. We have to remember a few things. First of all, he is a 6 threat character, right? He is in line with, you need to make him in line with other characters that are in the game at a similar threat level. And what you don't want to do is over either nerf or indeed over buff characters to make them either way, way better than what they were originally, or just nerf them into the ground so that they are completely unplayable. That's not a good idea for anything. So for me personally, I'm not sure if this one should have been on there, but we'll go through the rest and we'll take a look at what else is on here. So, replace the Chains of Citak superpower with the following text. Choose a character within range 3 of this character and push it towards, because that's how you push, this character short. Then the chosen character gains the Incinerate special condition. This superpower can only be used once per turn. Perfectly fine. This is, for me, something that should have been on his card from day one. For me, this element of his card is one of the reasons why he was so egregious and very, very difficult to play against. You know, look at other characters that have been able to do similar things in the past. Anytime you've been able to manipulate an opponent's position on the board multiple times in a single activation, it doesn't lead to a particularly good player experience. So I think this makes absolute perfect sense. So let's move on to the next nerf then, and replace the text of "I'm the spirit of vengeance, bearer of the cosmic power, and just a little bit unstable superpower" with the following text. During the cleanup phase, remove all Psychosis tokens from this character. Then this character rolls 5 dice. For each hit, crit, and wild results rolled, this character gains 1 power. Then if this character has 5 or more power, this character gains a Psychosis token and drops all objective tokens it is holding. So a couple of things it's important to note that you would get to score before doing this. So you are going to get to score any VPs that Cosmic Ghost Rider is scoring you. But then if you have more than 5 or more power, he's going to drop everything basically because he's going to get that Psychosis token. So where has the change come with in this one then? Well, again, if we go over to the original verbiage here, we can see that previously it was during the power phase. Now, why does this make a difference? It makes a huge difference because the power phase happens at turn 1, right? You gain power once these characters have been deployed before you've done anything else with them, which meant that Cosmic Ghost Rider could effectively start the game after the power phase with 6 power, which if you then take a look at something like Interstellar Hell Cycle, which allows him to be placed between 1 and 5, and you pay X for it, it meant that Cosmic Ghost Rider could do a range 5 place turn 1, which makes sense to me. I don't mind this change at all. We've seen with the rules in Timeline that AMG really want the game to be fought out on the battlefield and not turn 0 plays. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. He's going to have 1 power and a range 1 bump on Cosmic Ghost Rider because of that large base is still really big, and his Hellfire Blasters are going to be range 4 anyway, so he's still going to be able to get off some attacks potentially. But I think I'm okay with this one. I think it's absolutely fine. Maybe I'd have liked to have seen rather than moving it to the cleanup, maybe he only rolls 3 dice. Right, so it's a maximum of 3 power that he gets, or it's just a flat amount of power that he gets, whatever it may be. But they've put it in the cleanup phase. It's really interesting that they've done that. So he effectively loses out turn 1 of all of the extra power, which basically means he's not going to be able to do half the amount of things that he could do previously. But again, I think it does take away that super head start that he was always getting, because it was, a range 5 place turn 1 was pretty darn bad to say the least. And then lastly, guys, we have replaced the text of the ready to roll superpower with the following text. At the start of the first power phase, and when this character would be dazed, this character gains a Psychosis token. While it has a Psychosis token, it counts failure results in its attack, defense, and dodge rolls as successes. While this character has a Psychosis token, it cannot hold, contest, or interact with objective tokens. This character can have a maximum of 1 Psychosis token at any time. So again, let's just run over and take a quick look at his original card here. If I just scroll down ever so slightly. So it's used to say at the start of the first power phase, and then that was it. Everything else is the same, but he is getting I would argue it's a slight buff here, in that he is going to get in the power phase. He's going to get the Psychosis token when he's dazed. So that's pretty good. It means that when he comes back to life, he's going to have that Psychosis token. If Cosmic Ghost Rider has been dazed, he's going to have a decent amount of power on him as well. So I don't mind this one at all. I think they've given him a little bit back there, which I think is perfectly fine. I think it's something that, if you're applying all of the other things that we're applying on here, was probably needed. Where do I think this leaves Cosmic Ghost Rider, and what do I think will happen to him moving forward? He is going to be as impactful from turn 2 onwards as he was previously. The difference is that your opponent is probably going to have 1, maybe 2 characters left on the board who have not been dazed round 1 by Cosmic Ghost Rider. And I think that's the big difference here, is playing Cosmic Ghost Rider isn't going to give you the huge advantage that you were having previously. It's been toned down a little bit, and it's been toned down because of the way that he generates his power. That is absolutely huge. The fact that you could, as I say, sometimes you didn't even need to do a range 5 place. You would, let's say you got 6 power on him, you would place yourself, range 3, range 4, use the Chains of Citak, get that Incinerate on your opponent, roll your 6 dice in there from your Hellblasters, generate a couple of extra power, probably 12 dice going into a character that's on fire, unless there's some defensive tech, probably taking them out, generating some additional power to be able to move other people around the board as well, giving them an Incinerate, moving them off points, all those sorts of things. So he is somebody now who, if you see it in your opponent's roster, you are going to still have to deal with him. He's still a character you're going to have to deal with. But what you're not going to have to worry about is having lots of tech in there for those turn 1 plays that he can do. He was an S+ character previously. He was just so good. Maybe the only character in the game that was better than him for his threat level is Bill. But I don't really see Bill doing... He's just consistently good. He's not egregiously good. Bill alone cannot win you the game. Cosmic Ghost Rider alone, excuse me, could indeed win you the game. But he's still very dice dependent. But, with the Psychosis, he's dice dependent, but he's always getting them. I think this brings him in line to where he should be. I still think he is probably an A tier character, maybe with that Cosmic Penance Stare now costing 8. Maybe it bumps him down to like a B+. For me, I'm happy with the other 3 changes that they made. personally, I don't think they needed to go as far as they have done by increasing the Cosmic Pen and Stare attack. But hey, we will see, we'll see what happens with him in the future moving forward. I still think he's going to be somebody who is played. I just think that you're probably not going to see him in every single roster outside of affiliations. You're still going to see him in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's going to be very good still in Guardians of the Galaxy. There's an argument that he's going to be still pretty good at murdering things under Thanos's Black Order. In fact, actually, if anything, using Thanos to move him around can make it that bit easier as well. So I still think you're going to see him. I don't think these are Malekith level nerfs that we are talking about here. But nor do I think characters should have Malekith level nerfs. I think characters, if they are so far above the bell curve, they do need to be brought down ever so slightly. But a character can still have a nerf and be an A tier character. A tier characters will always be on a scale. And, for me, he's still up there with being a very, very good character. You're just going to have to be a little bit more selective now. And that's not a bad thing, but a bit more selective about what you choose to do with him. And he isn't going to be able to do everything. And I think that's one of the big, big differences. Now, if you use a Cosmic Pen and Stare, you need to be aware that you're probably going to lose that Psychosis token for the following round. And actually, guys, that could be to Cosmic Ghost Rider's benefit. There are points in the game where being able to score VPs is more important than having that extra damage and that extra defense and the dodge, from being able to count failures. I saw some people saying that he should only count the failures in his attack rolls or something like that. I still think it's perfectly, absolutely fine. You have to remember this guy's 6 points. So in let's pick an easy number for me. So in an 18 threat game, 1/4 of your entire threat. Future editorial Rich here. Obviously, that isn't 1/4. Apparently, Rich, whilst he was recording videos, loses the ability to work out fractions and percentages. It is, of course, 1/3. So just wanted to clarify that here. I'm not a complete numbskull. I just made a mistake. Anyway, back to normal Rich. Cannot score VPs. That is absolutely huge. Unless he's under, Thanos's Black Order or something like that. But that is absolutely huge. So, there is a huge downside to having that Psychosis token. VPs win games, not, taking out your opponent. So yeah, there we go, guys. That's my overall thoughts on Cosmic Ghost Rider. Am I sad? Yes, a little bit. I don't like it when my toys are taken away from me. Do I think something needed to be done to him? 100%. Do I think they've gone too far? I think on balance, no. I think it's absolutely fine. So there we go, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Have they gone too far? Did they not go far enough? Do you think Cosmic Ghost Rider was perfectly balanced in every way and didn't need anything doing to him whatsoever? I highly doubt there are many of you in that category, but let me know down in the comment section below. Guys, I want to give a big, big shout out to all of our Patreons. Thank you so much for your support. And if you want to support the channel, you can do so by supporting us over on Patreon. There's a link down in the description below from as little as £1 a month, but you don't need to support us on Patreon to help the channel. We are almost at 1 million views. I think the last time I checked, we were 952,000 views, something like that. Getting to 1 million views would be absolutely crazy. It's my, short-term goal for this year. We should hit it pretty soon. But if you could like, comment, share, make sure you've hit that subscribe button. All of those metrics really, really help. Make sure you check out the Discord as well, guys. We've got our Discord up and running. We're going to be announcing a brand new MCP event we're going to be announcing it now, and it'll be kicking off in March. So if you want to get involved in that as well, we've just finished our first ever timeline event, which was a lot of fun. Not something we're going to be doing every month, but it was definitely a lot of fun. So head on over to the Discord, again, completely free to join. There's over 1,000 people on there now, so go and check that out. And as always, guys, it leaves me with just enough time to say stay well, keep safe, and until next time, bye for now.